up in the jungle, it made me an animal. I learned something though, so I wrote you a manual. Shout out to Biggie. I grew up in the jungle, it made me an animal. I learned something though, so I wrote you a manual. Shout out to Biggie. Number one, don't be in the streets for nothing. How you broke after 10 years hustling? I mean, at this point, I wouldn't touch drugs for nothing. But that's because I'm standing for something. Number two, you can't be hanging with no snakes unless you want to catch you a case or end up in the grave from somebody that you thought was your ace. Then straight put a hole in your face. Number three, never put pleasure over money. Before we go further, know it's God over money. I know the love of money's the root to all evil, but don't think being poor make you more close to Jesus. Number four, you talk too much. You don't got enough action. You don't walk enough. You just yelling at the gate, acting tough. You a little dog, you bark too much. I grew up in the jungle, it made me an animal. I learned something though, so I wrote you a manual. Shout out to Biggie. I grew up in the jungle, it made me an animal. I learned something though, so I wrote you a manual. Shout out to Biggie. Number five, live every second you alive. Cause any given second, you know that you could die. Be just another memory, a ribbon in the sky. Another brother's tears, another mother's why. Number six, you better stand for something, or else you gon' fall for nothing. See, a wicked man's legacy, he died, it amounts to nothing. Think about that while you out there hustling. Number seven, spend your money with community, cause group economics, that's the real unity. Protesting and marching, we need that too. But let's put together money and build some schools. Number eight, you better walk by faith and not by sight, and walk in grace, cause that's the only reason you ain't end up on plates or sitting with a 30-year date. I grew up in the jungle, it made me an animal. I learned something though, so I wrote you a manual. Shout out to Biggie. I grew up in the jungle, it made me an animal. I learned something though, so I wrote you a manual. Shout out to Biggie.
Looking out the window. I just wanna go outside, side, side, side. Staring at the window. I'm about to lose my mind, 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 mind. Feels like oh,
everybody's got a stone to throw. Seems like everybody's got a stick to make you trip and watch you fall down. They watch you fall down. Everybody's got something to say. They'll use the words like bullets, shoot you down with all their strays, with things they say. Oh, but just be brave. Oh, you must be brave. He is life and truth and hope. He is life and truth and hope. So next time your world is crashing down, the pressures of life are like waves that drown. Remember this song, remember his truths. Fight the good fight, 'cause the fight's in you.
I woke and said a prayer for my generation. I feel like I could die for my generation. They say we need a king in our generation, so I'm trying to show the king to my generation. The little homie, he ain't got no patience. Daddy never returned, he got tired of waiting. Tired of welfare and tired of Section 8. So he went and got him a scale and he started weighing grams. And he dropped out of school, 'cause we don't rap about it, so he don't think it's cool. He was born a king, hope he don't die a fool. Every night I say a prayer that he don't make the news.
Help me to inspire the